Hey guys, it's Chris at Highline Guitars. You're watching another one of my YouTube guitar building videos. If you're new to my channel, welcome. I hope that by the end of this video, you might consider subscribing. What I'm going to talk about in this video is I want to address a couple of questions that have been posted to my videos with respect to the neck through guitar build that I recently completed. And the first question was asking if I was going to do a follow-up video where I would talk about what I like, what I don't like, and what I would do differently if I was going to build this guitar again. And then the other question was, when am I going to demo the guitar? So with respect to that first question, you know, this was a fairly typical guitar build in all respects except for the shape of the neck through tenon. As a result, I really can't say there's anything about the guitar that I don't like. It performs exactly as I as expecting it to, and I like the way it looks, and I like the shape of the body. I like this little forearm relief here, and the belly relief, nice access to the upper frets. So as far as the guitar is concerned in terms of playability, there's really nothing that I don't like about it. And what I do like about it is, well, it performs the way I expected it to. There wasn't any surprises along the way that, you know, I felt I needed to correct or alter or adjust. And as far as would I do anything differently, and yes, there is one thing that I would do, one thing that I could think of. When I was doing this neck through shape, there's obviously two sides to how that's going to be carved. I have this backside portion, and then I have the top side portion, which includes the pockets for the pickups, as well as the string through holes for the bridge and the mounting holes for the bridge. So I had to cut one side first, the top side, including the headstock. Then I had to flip the blank over and carve the whole backside, including the contour and the back of the headstock. Well, somewhere along the way, one of my carving operations for this tenon was off by about 1/16 of an inch. And I've looked at the files and I can't see that I did anything incorrectly as far as setting up the files to cut accurately when I did that, what I call a work and turn carving operation. But something was obviously wrong, and I think it may have had to do with how I lined up the blank when I flipped it over. I've demonstrated the technique that I use with regards to lining up the blank with the engraved lines on my wasteboard. And sometimes when I'm filming this process with my video camera and I'm getting lighting set up and I'm trying to get the camera angles right, it's possible I may have clamped down the blank so that it wasn't lined up perfectly. And I just have to focus on making sure that before I start the carve, everything is exactly right. So I may have let myself get a little bit rushed there and made a mistake as far as that was concerned. Was it a fatal mistake? Absolutely not. You really can't even tell. I would have to point out where the little carving is, where the bit went off a little bit. You really can't see it because most of it is covered up by the pickups themselves. That's where you could really notice that things weren't perfectly lined up. But as far as how it affects the guitar, it doesn't affect it at all. It was because it was such a tiny amount that it was off. And it didn't affect the placement of the bridge with respect to the frets or the nut. So performance-wise, the guitar performs exactly as it's supposed to. So really, that's the only thing that I would do differently if I was going to build this guitar again. Now, however, Highline Guitars almost never, in fact, it never makes the same guitar twice. I'm always changing the design, tweaking it, modifying it, or just completely coming up with something totally new to build. I don't like to do the same thing over and over and over. That's not the type of guitar builder that I am. I don't want to be a factory cranking out the same cookie cutter guitars over and over and over. So for me, this is my form of artistic expression. So every guitar is a little bit different. Now, as far as demoing the guitar, I've talked about this before, and I think I have to be more honest with you, the viewers, as to why I don't demo the guitars. As I've said in the past, there are so many factors that go into the tone of a guitar. And it's, you know, the pickups, the playing style, the electronics, but more importantly, it's the cable out to the amplifier and then the amplifier itself. All those things have an effect on the tone. And of course, the room or the whatever facility you're playing in can have an effect on the tone. So if I were to record that and then transfer that to my computer, edit it into a video, and then compress it down, upload it to YouTube, and then you were to watch it on your device or your computer or your laptop or whatever, the quality of the audio is, I don't want to say it's bad, because that's not really accurate. It's just not something that can be controlled. So what you're hearing on your laptop might be completely different than what somebody else is hearing on their phone through headphones or through a desktop in a large room with a lot of echo and that sort of thing. And it, you know, it has to do with the quality of your speakers on the equipment that you're using. So you really, I don't feel, can get an accurate representation of how the guitar sounds. But also, I don't have adequate recording equipment myself. It's not something that I do, and it's not something I'm focused on. So I haven't purchased the right kind of equipment to record the audio that's coming out of my amplifier. I don't have the right kind of microphone. I don't have an interface to my computer or any of that it would allow me to do it. So, and I'm not even sure, to be honest with you, the best way to do it. It's because I've never researched it, because I have no interest in doing it. So it's not something that I've ever tried to pursue. But in the end, oh, and then there's the fact that I would have to hire a guitar player to demo the guitar. Yes, I can play, but I play left-handed, not right-handed, and all the guitars that I build are right-handed. So I could probably noodle a few chords with it, but what ends up happening is the people watching the video become too caught up with my playing style rather than the way the guitar actually sounds. So I would have to hire a guitar player to demo the guitar. And in the end, there's no benefit to me to do that, because the guitar is already sold. It doesn't matter whether you like the way it sounds or not. What I can say is every guitar that I build sounds like an electric guitar. Exactly how it sounds, I could probably describe it to you, but there's no real benefit to you watching it and judging how it sounds, because you're not going to ever play the guitar. It's going to somebody else. And if they decide that they want to change the tone, or that they don't like the way it sounds, it's a simple matter of changing out the pickups. I can wind a new set, and I can wind it in such a way as to alter the tone and get exactly what the player wants. That never happens. I've never had somebody come back to me and say, yeah, I need you to revisit the pickups in this guitar because I'm not really happy with the way it sounds. Or, I've decided I want a new sound. Can you help me out? That's never happened. So demoing the guitar so that the viewer can judge its sound serves no purpose. You just have to take my word for it that it sounds like an electric guitar. But that's kind of that's basically the reasons why I don't do the demos. And I suppose at some point, if I found a way to get the equipment to do it and found a guitar player who would demo it for free, I might consider doing some of those. But I just really hesitate knowing that once the demo has been posted on YouTube, there are going to be a lot of people who will criticize the tone based on what they hear coming out of their computer speakers or their phone or their headphones or whatever. And I can't control that. So, and the only reason I bring that up is because I've watched many other videos where people demo guitars and they get those same comments where people will say things about the tone that I'm not hearing because maybe my speakers are better than what they've got on their device or their computer or whatever. Well, that's all I've got for this episode, and I know it was kind of long-winded, but that occasionally happens with this subject. Hopefully it will spark some discussion. If you've got some thoughts or opinions, put them down in the comment section below. Tell me what you think about this guitar and what you would do differently if you were going to build it yourself. And as always, if you're new to the channel, again, welcome. I hope that that you've found something in this video of use and will consider subscribing to the channel. And as always, for the rest of you out there, take care, stay safe, and I hope you'll be back for the next episode as I continue with the V-shaped guitar build.